Welcome back to another episode from the Halcyon Heights SMP. My name is Saniti, and welcome back to the Kingdom of Odaxodale. Well, the start of the Kingdom of Odaxodale. You know, humble beginnings and all that. As you can see from the opening time-lapse, I have spent some time between episodes rebuilding the tavern over in this area. Turns out, tearing down the houses was actually nearly fatal. Jeez. He's getting in my space. We also moved out of the villager house that we had claimed, and this should certainly tide us over for a while until we can get our ultimate storage solution sometime later in the Chronicle. We have other things that we need to address first, though. If this is our kingdom and these are our lands, then I guess this would make these villagers our people, and we have a duty to protect them from monsters that could be lurking in the shadows. As an initial safety measure, I have gathered all of the villagers and put them in this temporary shelter. What do you mean this looks like the sheep pen? Okay, fine. Yes, it is the sheep pen, and they all ended up here of their own accord. But we actually need to move them somewhere else, and probably give them some proper walls. And a roof. Now I know that last episode I mentioned that I want to build a library here to the south of the central town square. I know it's technically a circle, but that just doesn't sound right. And there is a square in there, so I'm just gonna call it a square. Anyway, I know I said I was gonna build the library to the south, but in between episodes I decided to build it somewhere else for two reasons. First, I realized the librarians, and the clerics, are learned members of the society that we are building up here. As such, they would be closer to the castle, if not in the castle itself, while other more industrial buildings or establishments of ill repute would be further away. So, since the castle is going to be up on the mountain and the church over here, I think it makes more sense to have the library up behind here. The second reason is purely aesthetic. Look at that view from the center of town. Can't you just see a main gate with two guard towers framing this view? It also makes sense for there to be some sort of defenses over here, as this is where I plan to have an entry point from the waterway down below. But, coming back to these guys, let's build ourselves a temporary structure out of the way where we can house our villagers for now, somewhere that we hopefully won't have to move again as we build up the area around the town center. Nothing to write home about, but this will allow us to work without having to worry about them getting attacked by mobs, and having to be so strict with our sleeping. As the town gets established, I will be moving them to their permanent homes in their thematic builds, library, blacksmith, etc. As I was fighting with the villagers, these guys can be a real pain sometimes, I realized the book said that these are my lands, but we have really only been hanging out in the village. I wonder how far these lands actually extend, and how much we have to work with, and possibly have to defend. I wonder where our borders are. Well, any other time I've had a question, that book seems to have provided an answer. I guess we should go find it. Just as I suspected. Along the tree line to the north and west, and along the water to the south. Okay, what about east? It doesn't seem to say. The tree line to the north. And west. And along the water to the south. Even without the eastern border being defined, we have a lot of land available to us. I don't like the look of that forest, though. Perhaps we should put up an initial wall to help protect us from whatever may be lurking in the shadows over there. Building this wall will by no means be interesting at all. So, while I work on defining our border more concretely, please enjoy these clips of some of the other things that have been going on. Alright, let's see if we sold anything. Oh my. Now that's a lot of diamonds. The carrot business is definitely very lucrative. 12 diamonds. Can't really complain about that. So let's fill this back up and then we can be on our merry way. And when you least expect it, you get a mending villager. I literally had gone back in to go to sleep. I don't know what his trade was before, but in going to sleep and coming back out, he decided to become a mending villager. So let's make sure we lock this guy in. So many rerolls. Not pretty by any means, but it will suffice for now. As you can see, I tried to stay as true to the tree line as I could. But some of these areas have very interesting terrain. We will have to certainly do some terraforming to make this usable to us. Speaking of terraforming, while working on the actual wall design in a creative version of this world, I determined that the town square is not centered on the opening to the south. Why would it be? So, we will have to shave down the hill on the right side here and build it up on the left so that we have the gates actually coincide with the center of the square. Finally, I also lit up the area so as to deter monsters from spawning within our walls. I probably should have done this long ago. If I had, I probably wouldn't have suffered my second death. The worst thing about that was I was tabbed out working on editing and didn't recognize the zombie noises until it was too late. But that is where we need to leave it for today. This video took a bit more time because just like in game, I was moving houses in real life and I'm still sorting through all the boxes. But that is slowly coming to an end and we have many new projects starting here in Odaxdale that we need to get on top of for next time. If you'd like to know when the next installment goes live, please consider subscribing and don't forget to hit that bell. And if you would like to see some of the behind the scenes stuff and be part of some of the shenanigans live, come visit me during my streams over at twitch.tv/sanity. But until next time, stay floofy my friends, and I will see you sometime in the future. Bye!